What's happening, family? It's been a while since we have done this. It's good to see y'all, man. I've missed y'all. Um, had to take a hiatus from Crosstalks because I really wanted to find out, where we were going, where we were headed, what I really wanted to do with it. Um, and over that period of time, I've done some things, and so really, as we're getting ready to go into the new year, can you believe it, man? We're almost out of 2020, and man, what a year 2020 has been. Um, we've seen a lot of things in 2020. The last time that we were, that I was live um, with Crosstalks, I don't even think we had entered the election yet. There was a lot of talk. We were building up to it, um, but we had not. We had not. Um, hey, Delonte, what's happening, man? Good to see you, my brother. But we had not even gotten into the election, and since that time, we know that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did win the election, even after all of the stuff that we saw. And now they're the president and vice president elect. And so, a lot of things have transpired. The numbers of deaths due to COVID have increased, unfortunately. Um, just a lot of things have transpired since the last time I did this. But I needed to really find out what direction, I wanted to go. And while I was figuring it out, I ventured into some other things. And so really, what I wanted to come on here and do was talk about, my debt-free journey, because, I'm sure a few of you probably saw my post, and I talked about how I started 2020 with $26,000 of tax debt. Um, and I cannot even begin to tell you how heavy of a burden that was, carrying $26,000 of tax debt. I mean, $26,000 owed to the IRS. And that was a heavy burden. Um, and a lot of that, and I'm being transparent with you, because I want you to know that I'm setting on a journey to help people, because I didn't have help navigating through that $26,000 worth of debt. I had to figure that out on my own. But I had $26,000 in tax debt, and if I can be honest, my wife did not know I had that $26,000 of tax debt. And then I had to get to a point where I had to come clean with her and tell her, listen, even though I have $26,000 of tax debt, we filed married, jointly. So we have $26,000 of tax debt. And what I knew was that if anything happened to me, that $26,000 of tax debt would fall on, my wife and my daughter. And I didn't want that to happen, because I see so many times in, black and brown communities, instead of us leaving, a legacy and leaving our children in financial, um, in a financially good place, we leave them with a lot of debt. And that was another reason why I wanted to, start, my financial coaching business. And I gotta be honest with you all, just announcing on social media. A lot of people see me and they think, I'm this, outgoing guy. And for the most part, I am. But I am reserved when it comes to sharing stuff like that, because a part of me, and I'm just being real with you all, a part of me is concerned about what people will say, how people will how people will respond to the fact that I own a business, or I started a business, because it's like, who are you, what credentials do you have to start a business, and so for me just to go public with that was a big move for me, because that's always been an insecurity of mine, because I was concerned, would people take me seriously. Um, but what 2020 has taught me, if it has taught me nothing else, man, be bold, do what you're going to do, be excited about what you're going to do. Understand that if you are fulfilling a purpose that is God ordained, it'll work out. So don't worry about what people are saying about you or what people think about you. Be more concerned with what God knows about you and how He has gifted you. And so don't so I just put it out there, and really I want to say to all of y'all, thank y'all for the overwhelming support that so many of you gave me. It really it really did a lot for my confidence. But you know, I was $26,000 in debt to the IRS. Um, you know, my wife did not know about this tax debt. You know, and if she did, I'm sure she didn't know it was $26,000 of tax debt. Um, so much so that, and I was so delinquent on the tax debt that the IRS had started to garnish one of my um, checks. You know, because I used to work for the federal government and I retired, and so they were garnishing that to get the tax debt paid. And not only did they do that, but they sent me a notice of levy in lien. And what that means is that if you have any assets that can help decrease that tax debt, that the IRS will come and get that asset. And that's what kept me from, you know, really looking at houses. I don't know if I really would have bought a house here in Charleston anyway, but it kept me from really pursuing buying a house. It had nothing to do with, you know, credit score. You know, my credit score is fine. It had nothing to do with, you know, would I be able to afford it, because I knew how much I was willing to pay for a house. But what really um, kept me from pursuing a home was the fact that I knew that if we bought a house, that at any time the IRS could come and seize that asset, and I didn't want my family being out on the street because I knew, you know, how that would look. And so I had this $26,000 tax debt that was hanging over my head, and I couldn't sleep at night like I really wanted to. And you know, you all saw me, and I put on this facade like, you know, everything was okay. You know, I didn't have no problems. And I'm gonna tell y'all how the audacity that I had, and I look back on it now, man, and just, you know, silliness really, but you know, the audacity that I had, and I'm being totally vulnerable with you all because, you know, I'm at a place now where I can talk about, because I'm not in that place anymore. And I'm on this journey now to help people, and I'll talk, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the you know, I tried to cover up that I had this tax debt. I tried to cover up that I was that I was in this place, and I'm going to show you how arrogant I was, and how y'all see this bag, right? Y'all see this. This is a Coach backpack that I bought, and I bought this like recently. Now I went and bought that Coach backpack, and it cost, you know, a little bit, but I went and bought that Coach backpack knowing that I had a $26,000 tax debt, right? Y'all see this? This is a Coach duffel bag that I went and bought, right? Coach duffel bag that I went and bought that cost, you know, a little bit of money, knowing I had a $26,000 tax debt, right? You know, I'm going on trips and all of this, knowing that I have a $26,000 tax debt. And so, you know, I said all that to say that that if I was serious, I would have paid. I would have paid the debt. I would have paid the debt. You know, the money that I was spending on those bags, I would have paid, you know, towards that debt, and you know, figured that out. But instead, man, you know, I'm spending frivolously, and I have a $26,000 tax debt. You know, you know, I, and 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 I'm acting like I don't, and this is from, and I have this $26,000 tax debt to an entity that does not have to tell you they're going to take your money, to an entity that does not have to take you to court to garnish your wages. They can do it, you know. if you are owed a return, they can just take the money and you'll never see it, right? And I want y'all to. I'm being totally honest with you all because I'm out of this debt now, and I'm in a position where, I had to try to traverse this debt thing by myself, right? I had to try to traverse this tax thing by myself. But now, I'm in a position where I really want to help others. And I'm going to tell y'all about that at the end. But I want you all to understand where I was. I was $26,000. That's five figures. $26,000 in tax debt. $26,000 that I owed to the U.S. Department of Treasury, also known as the IRA and the S, right? I owed $26,000. And when you owe $26,000 to the IRS, that's suffocating. That's hard to sleep. And much of it came from ignorance, right? A lot of it came from ignorance, and a lot of it came from me just making poor financial decisions. I showed y'all, the duffel bag and in the backpack that I bought, like I didn't have this debt hanging, and I'm here to tell you, I owed taxes from 2014. Okay, that's how far I was behind, and I got the records right here. I can show y'all. This is not a joke. I owe taxes. I want to make sure I'm telling y'all right. It could have been further than that. No, it was 2014. I owed from 2014 to 2018. Now, some of that was, ignorance, poor financial decisions, and some of that was I plainly did not have the money to pay the tax debt, right? I didn't have the money to pay it, so I just ignored it, and I ignored it. And then there was a time when I got on the payment plan with RS, because they will give you an opportunity to go on a payment plan. On a payment plan, miss some payments because I just did not have the money, and so it got to a point where it just got so insurmountable. I just acted like it was not there, right? Let me see what Maria asked, but how did you manage to keep it all together knowing you were dealing with this? So I'll tell you. So I had this insurmountable tax debt, right? And and a lot of people didn't know. A lot, I'm revealing this a lot for the first time. But the way that I kept it all together, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I just acted like it was not there. I just acted like I didn't have it. It's like, I see it, but I don't see it. And so I just kept acting like it wasn't there all the while this thing was going. Because the thing with the IRS, it adds interest every day. This thing was growing every day to the point that it got to be $26,000. And I couldn't. It came to a point after a while because my wife and I were talking about some transition things, and this is what every woman wants to be in her own home. She wants a place that she can call her house, right? And I was not fulfilling my obligation as her husband because I'm knowing she wants to be in a house, but I'm scared to put her in a house because I didn't want the IRS knocking at the door or sending us a letter and telling us they were going to come and seize our property. Because if the IRS said that, how was I going to explain that to her? And when I had not explained to her that we had $26,000 in debt, right? So, I acted like it was not there. I acted like the debt was not, was not there. And then it came to a point where I said, man, I can't keep running from this thing. It's time to get serious about this. I'm in my 40s. You know, at this point, I'm at my mid 40s, and I I don't want to go into 2021 with this thing on my plate. So I've gotta make this. I gotta change something. I've got to do better. And by the way, you know, I'm a preacher, I'm a minister, and I'm talking to people about stewardship when I'm not being a good steward of my money because I have this debt that I owe. And if I'm going to be a true disciple, then I have to pay what I owe. That's keeping your word. That's keeping your covenant. You know, and so I had this tax debt, and so I decided it was time to get real about it. I couldn't keep running from it. I had to face it. The Lord moved some things that I was able to get some money, um, and I just decided. And what really pushed me was I really wanted, you know, I wanted to put my family in a house, but because I had this tax debt also, it was keeping me from doing a lot of the things that I wanted to do. Right, you know, because I talked to you about transition, so I couldn't buy a house because I was scared that they were going to come and take the house. But there were some businesses that I wanted to start that I could not start because I had a tax debt. So it was keeping me from even putting myself in a position where I could get money to pay the debt off. And so it was just holding this debt was holding me back from a lot of stuff, you know. And you know, there's a certain psychology that comes with debt as well. Women see debt as a thing of insecurity. You know, the more money there is in the house, the more secure women are. The less there is, the more insecure they are. And you know, women don't want to feel. They want to know that when they go to bed at night, that nobody's gonna knock on the door and tell them about you got to move out of this house. We're taking your house. And so, you know, there's a certain psychology built around money as it relates to men and women. Women see it as security, whereas we as men, we see it as a scorecard. Because if I'm in debt, if I don't have money, I feel like a loser. I feel like I'm not winning at this thing called life. And so, you know, I wanted to come out of that loss column and come into the win column. And so, I finally decided that I wanted to win. And so, like I said, you know, got some money, and instead of doing something frivolous with it, I started putting that money towards that tax debt. Remember, this is December of 2020 now. I started in January of 2020 with a $26,000 tax debt. I made a decision that it's time to get rid of this debt, and I just started throwing money at that debt. And as I sit before you right now, I have eliminated $26,000 of tax debt. Zero. I don't owe the IRS anything. I can go to bed tonight knowing that I don't owe the IRS anything. The tax debt is eliminated. It's gone. And can I tell you, I still got a good amount of money in the bank. And I've even got a good amount in investments. So I'm doing really, really well. Don't have any credit cards. Credit score is looking good. Not that I'm you know, there are some things that I'm looking at now as it relates to credit score, but you know, credit score is good. And what happened was, I made a decision. I followed that plan, and I eliminated the debt. Now the downside of that is this: I had to walk that walk by myself. I didn't have anybody that guided me. I didn't have anybody that was walking with me. I didn't have anybody that was going with me to help me eliminate that debt. So that leads me to where I am now. I started my financial coaching business because I wanted to walk with people. Because this is what I know: experience is a great teacher, but it's even better when the experience is somebody else's. It's better when you can learn from somebody else's experience instead of you having to experience it on your own. It's like when we were growing up, our parents would say they went through this, that, and the third, and they would help us navigate it because they had already gone through it. And so that we didn't have to go through it, they helped us to navigate it. And so that's where I was. I wanted to eliminate this tax debt, and I did. And so now I'm at this place where I want to help. I want to come alongside, guide as many people as I can, and walk with them through this journey of erasing the debt in their lives, because there's a certain freedom that comes with knowing that you don't owe anybody anything. Um, I talk with I am a minister, and I talk with ministers. There's a certain freedom that comes with doing ministry when you know you don't owe anybody anything. In your marriage, there's a certain freedom in your marriage when you all can go to bed at night knowing that you all don't owe anybody anything, and you've got money in the bank, you've got money in investments, you're putting money aside for the children's college fund. You know that you're putting in place things that will help build a legacy for them. And so, I got in, I did that. I started my financial coaching business because the other thing that I was seeing was, it seems to me that we're in this seemingly GoFundMe era. I've seen a lot of people in our communities that they didn't have insurance, they didn't have cash. And so a loved one dies, and they don't have enough money to fund the funeral. And so what do? They create a GoFundMe, for asking complete strangers to contribute to them having to bury their loved one. And so what that says to me is nobody in the family has enough money that they can put together to bury this person or to cremate, or whatever it is. And I thought that was a travesty. And so I wanted to be able to come along, help people eliminate this debt, help us get out of this GoFundMe era, help us look at what we have, where we're spending money needlessly, where we're spending money frivolously. Let's find some money within the funds that we have. Let's see how we can switch up some stuff in our homes, because a lot of us, if we're honest, and listen, I'm talking to you from experience. A lot of us are living beyond our lifestyle. A lot of us are we're interested in these labels, and all of this, and we're putting on this facade, and we're living beyond our means, and it's putting us in a bad place. Um, yeah, I wouldn't have started my business if that wasn't my intent. But thank you for that anyway. Um, and so, I want to be able to come alongside people and help them navigate through this financial desert that many of us have found ourselves in. I gotta end with this, but let me tell y'all this. I was in Iraq, and if you've ever seen a map of the desert, it all looks the same. Every bit of it. It all looks the same. There were people that had the same map that I had, and they got lost. Anytime I went out, I never got lost. What's the difference? They got a map, I've got a map. It's the same map. Nothing is different about the map. They would get lost, and I did not. What was the difference? The difference was I knew how to read the map. I had been trained to read maps. I had applied the stuff that I learned about map reading. That's why I was able to navigate through the desert when other people got lost. Many of us have the same map, but you don't know how to read it. And so you need somebody to come alongside you and help guide you so that you can get out of this financial desert alive and get towards being debt free. The reason a lot of people cannot fathom debt free is because we've never really met people that are debt free. The reason that we can't fathom having no debt is because we've been made to think that debt is the American way. I'm going to show you that they're all in on this con, right? Each of you can get a free copy of your credit report. You can get a free copy once a year. You can get a free copy, and you may be able to get more than that depending on the state that you live in. But we can get a free copy of our credit report. So I get these emails, just to keep an eye on my credit report. And when they, I get emails from nearly every day from one of these credit bureaus. And a lot of times they're sending me offers for credit cards. Now, why would you send me an offer for a credit card? And I want y'all to know I don't own any credit cards, all debit, no credit cards. Don't believe them, hadn't used them in years. Why would you send me an offer for a credit card? That if I get the credit card and my credit report already shows that I'm not good with credit, I'm poor at paying my bills. You send me this offer for this credit card. I'm in a deep financial situation. I'm thinking I get this credit card. It'll help me. Not only will it help me get out of this financial situation, but it'll increase my credit score. I get this credit card. And then when I can't pay the credit card, it shows up negatively on my credit report and it takes my credit report down. And then I can't make any moves. It's a shell game. They're all in on it. There's this idea that debt is the American way. They want to keep you in debt so that you can keep coming back. And I know a lot of people, and I want you to understand, not just with this IRS, but, these student loans, a lot of stuff has people in bondage. And there are people right now that are counting on when Joe Biden gets in office that he's going to eliminate this tax debt. Let me help you understand something. Don't wait on the government to do anything for you. Don't wait on the government to be your Superman. They hadn't even fixed the roads in your community. You think they're gonna fix your tax situation? You think they're gonna fix your student loan situation? You think they're gonna fix your debt situation? They hadn't even fixed the roads in your community. They still hadn't fixed the pipes in Flint, Michigan. And you think that the government is gonna help you out of your debt situation? Let me help you understand something. Superman is not coming. It's time for you to be the hero of your story. And so it can be done. It is possible. It seems like it's a heavy weight right now. It seems like there's no way out of it. But I'm here to tell you, it can be done. I did it, and I can show you how it can be done. Go and visit my page, Patriots Family and Financial Coaching. I'm going to change the name of that. I really don't like that name, but go and visit that page. I've got a calendar on there. Get on the calendar. Let's talk. Let's look at your situation. Let's see how we can fix this. Let's see what we can do. See if there's anything we could do to help your situation. I know we can. I'll be willing to work with you. Be willing to help you out of it because I know we can. So I'm here to tell you if I can do it. And remember, I started out in January, $26,000. Here it is, December. Within 12 months, I eliminated $26,000 in debt. Didn't go to any credit repair and all of that. None of that stuff. I changed how I thought about money. I made a decision. I talked with my family. I talked with God, and then I started working on getting this out. Um, and then I got with a group of people that helped to show me how I can help others. And so now I want to be able to help you walk through your financial jungle so that we can come out clean on the other side and eliminate this debt. Folks, I appreciate you. I just wanted to be able to share that with you. I'm excited about what God is going to do for each of us in the next year. Many of you right now, you are planning you're planning to straighten up your finances in the new year. Seems like we're always making the decision to get fit and fix our finances. Those are the big things that we normally say. I'm gonna fix my finances, and I'm gonna get fit. And so I encourage you to really, if you're gonna set those goals to get healthy, make sure that you get financially healthy as well. If you want to sign up, I am hosting a Financial Peace University course January 9th. It'll go for 9 weeks, and we'll walk through you beginning your financial journey. If you want to sign up, the link is in the chat. I want you to take part of that, and we'll start out together, starting the new year off right, so that by the time, hopefully, you come out of the third quarter, you're in a position, you're in a much better position than when you started. So thanks for being here, folks. I appreciated it. Go and visit my Facebook page, Patriot Financial and Family Coaching. We're going to help you get through this. We can get out of this debt. It doesn't seem like it right now, but I'm telling you, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Let's fix it. Whatever it is that's holding you back, let's be honest about it. Let's get out of the way, and let's start our debt-free journey together. God bless y'all, man, and I will see y'all next time. God bless.